Please note that this content is for adults only. Viewer discretion advised. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe, like, and share. Hello everyone and welcome back to another live stream with me, Grizelda K. This is Grizzly True Crime and we are on day 7 morning session for the Ronald Burgos-Aviles trial. Now I'm monitoring the courts so that I could see when they start, but I prepared some map time for you so that we could actually look at what they presented yesterday. If you missed yesterday, I would highly recommend checking it out, because there was a lot of information shared. It was a really good presentation that the lead detective, Raymundo Garcia, had for us, a whole compilation of things. And so I plotted out every point that they had there on their compilation so that I can show you guys, okay? Thank you for being here. Please do like and share. I would really appreciate it. I did not have time to share it. I'm busy making things for you guys. So I haven't shared it to Twitter or anywhere yet, so I'd really appreciate it if you are on Twitter or Facebook, if you could share it for me. That would be amazing. Okay, so let me just continue to monitor the court here quickly. They said they want to start at 45. I don't see it. I don't see it happening yet. So we've got some map time to look at. If we have to interrupt, don't worry, we'll do it again later, okay? So Lizzie Bay, thank you for being a member for 5 months. Welcome to all my moderators, all my patrons, and of course all my members, as well as OGs, original Grizzlies, subscribers already, and new subscribers for today. All right, let's roll the map time. Okay, so what I've got here for you, as I said, I probably have to make myself a little bit smaller. Okay, and like this. Yes, that should be good. So you see this? Lots of points have been plotted out. So I'm going to give you a quick preview before I start the presentation so that you can see this is the area where the bodies were found, right? We've gone over this area before. We put the little Google man down and we could see the gate that Burgos and other Border Patrol agents would have gone into from this Lowry Road. This is Lowry Road. This is another one. But yes, okay. So that's where the crime scene was from April 9th of 2018. And man, it's taken long to get to trial, huh? But here we are. I think the prosecution might rest their case today, so we shall see. So this is where the crime scene was. Burgos lived... Wait, he lived here at this Pedrosa Street. All right? And so he had to go to work. He would supervise this whole area here regularly. On that day, he was going to supervise this area. And please keep in mind, if you missed it from the beginning, there's a summary video for you, and there's a whole case playlist, which I would recommend checking out with timestamps and everything, right? So the thing is that they'd actually taken all the sensors out of this area. So there was not surveillance in this area at the time because they were clearing all the riverbeds and things. And of course, Burgos knew about that. Also, don't forget that they said 2 days before the crime, Burgos was actually seen hanging out in this area here by this Iglesia Cristiana Misericordia church, like this area, which I put the little man. I was driving around earlier, okay, you guys. If you wonder what I was doing, I was just driving around, okay, yeah, with the Google man. Like, okay, let's go, buckle up, everyone. So that I could see, what were they talking about? Because he went there on April 7th, and then the crime happened on April 9th, and he went there as well. So that's very interesting as well. So we go here. I am monitoring the court, as I say. Don't worry. As soon as it starts, I'll put that on. We'll stop this and I'll put that on. So if you could see, he lived here, right? And he would either go, he'd go to work like this and go here. And I think there was a gym there. That's why they talk about the CrossFit and all that. But this is the Laredo North Border Patrol Station. So he would go there and then generally supervise this area. Now, all these little points, where did we get it from? The compilation yesterday. This is the Rio Grande River, and this is the Father Charles McNaboe Park. So let's start at the Laredo North Border Patrol Station. That is where April 9th of 2018 would have started for him. Okay? And then, if we go to the next point, Father Charles McNaboe Park, which is where he asked Grizelda to meet up with him. And this would be the second time that he was meeting his son. And the reason he was going to meet up with him is because Dominic's leg was not doing well after he had seen Burgos on March 25th. And we know about the 18-gauge needle and all of that. So it seems like he injected his son with something. And interestingly, I'm busy transcribing all the text for you as well. Interestingly, he had actually said on March 20th, in a few weeks, you're not going to want to be my friend. So there's that. All the red flags. My goodness, this guy. So this is the park. And we go here to the scene, right? So Burgos A and B, where B was where his truck was seen parked, I believe. I plotted that earlier when Agent Dennison and Agent Lara showed us things, right? So A and B and the bodies found around here, right? Imelda Echevarria says, question, if he were to plead guilty before the trial's over, what kind of sentence could he get? I also wonder if it would still then be the death penalty, the death sentence or not. Or, that it's a death penalty trial. So I do wonder as well about that. And if he would, do you guys think he would? He might. Okay, so we go to the next point, which is still B, and then the next point is where the bodies are. Now, what we got going on here? Let's go there. Next, that's where the next camera catches him here at Finley Elementary School. Now, let me make this make sense for you. April 9th, 2018, Grizelda parks in this area. She walks on the walking trails to meet him somewhere. Her last Snapchat is sent at 9:44 a.m. They believe the crime happened between 9:46 a.m. and 10:10 a.m. Burgos then gets in his truck and leaves. And he's captured all over the place. Okay, he's captured on the camera here at Finley Elementary School. Then he's captured here at Mines Road on camera. They showed us a whole bunch of video surveillance yesterday. Melissa Gonzalez, welcome to Grizzly $1 supporter. This guy, he's like, oh, there's no sensors there. But then he's like, ooh, races home after 10:10. Races home to change and then come back. So that capture, there's a camera there at Mines Road. Another one at this Melton truck lines that captures him. And so we keep going. There's more cameras here at Shiloh Drive that capture him at like townhouses. And then also at this Matias Delano Elementary School. I'm going to zoom out again so that you could see. I hope it's all making sense for you. Meaning, look at all these points where he gets captured on camera. So he goes from there. He gets captured there, right there as well, and there. And you see home is here. So you can see he made his way. He cut through here. He cut through here to go home. Now, how did the police figure, why did they look at cameras here? It's because they said they thought he would return back to the scene or back to work, right? Via Shiloh again, but he didn't. So they started looking at all these areas, and at this Yum Bob Bullock convenience store, that's where they saw him on camera. Can you imagine how much they went through? Missy Baker, welcome to membership. Can you imagine how much footage they've gone through to make a presentation like they did yesterday? Whoa. Sam Kennedy says, love your coverage, G. Looking forward to spending my first live on with me today. Okay, with all of us. Much love from Liverpool, UK. Thank you, Sam Kennedy. And thank you to everyone sharing the hearts and everything. Really appreciate it. So again, here's the crime scene, right behind me, yeah. And he's making his way like this to go home to change. After home, what does he do? He actually goes this way and then goes eastward, comes back this way. And all these cameras capture him going back to the scene. So the compilation and that presentation was brilliant yesterday. But sometimes when they're zooming in and out, we can't see this visual, this that we see right here. And what's even worse, when he came back, so he went like this from the crime scene, this way home, right? As we can see, wait, no, from here, being captured all along here, goes home. He goes this way, then there. This is an area that's very, very dodgy for him, considering it's not a dodgy area. It's for him. Whatever he's doing there is up to no good, probably. There are also dumpsters there, or they were at the time, is what they said. So he probably got rid of bloody clothes and a knife there, unless he threw the knife in the river. We shall see, because there's another area of interest. So he goes this way, comes back this way, okay, driving along here. All these cameras catch him, all of them. But then when he goes here, he actually goes north again, okay, in here. Where's this Barbara Faskin Recreation Center? So he goes in here, like this, capture, and he goes past this Barbara Faskin Recreation Center, and look at this. Remember Agent Dennison saw him, like, speeding or driving erratically, and he was like, what are you doing? He'd actually come from here. They said there were fresh tire marks up here. So see, this is also probably an area where he may have discarded of the knife. So if anyone in the area is going magnet fishing, for example, I would recommend doing it here. Always stay safe, okay? But if I was in this area, I would so go magnet fishing around here. I know it looks like it's quite a big area. This is that World Trade Bridge, but what was he doing there? So he came past here, went on these trails up here, turned around, came this way, and this is where Dennison saw him driving really fast down southward, back towards the scene, back towards here, which no one knew was a scene yet. But he went here, saw Agent Lara in this area, was acting strange, and then suddenly discovered the body of Grizelda. Tiff Knox says, quite a bit of surveillance. Yes, it's quite a bit of surveillance. Hey. Okay. So, yes, so now where were we? Let's go to the next point. This is now home. And I'm not doxing anyone. That's where he used to live. His wife moved to his ex-wife or wife. We believe that they got divorced, moved to Florida. But that's where he lived. And we also saw ring cam surveillance from his neighbor at 11305 Pedrosa Street. And that's where we saw him wearing shorts and tennis shoes. Okay. And quickly changing. Then from there, look how he goes. He goes here towards this area. Now I'm going to put the little Google man down. Wait. Okay, sure. Sorry, monitoring the court there. Let's put this little man down here at this Iglesia Cristiana Misericordia. Hope I'm not saying it totally wrong. Church. Because they talked about this church. So I did a little drive-by. Buckle up, everybody. Stefan, if you're here, tell them. Buckle up, everyone. G's about to drive. So I was looking at this church, and I'm like, where in the hell was the picture that they showed us of that footage? But if you go a little bit more this way, let's see, like this. Yes, there's that little building that they were showing, and the blue thing here. Okay, wait. So if I went like this. Yeah. I think this is what I did. Wait. Go back there, please. Yes. I think this is what I was doing. Wait. Yes, this is what I did. That's how we're going to see it. I don't have the footage to show you now, but it was on the presentation yesterday. This is how they showed us. This was the view. So we saw this building here. We saw his truck come past here at, I think it was 10:41, and then come back this way at 10:46. So he was only out there for 5 minutes. Whatever he did there, whatever he got rid of there, 5 minutes. And there's nothing out there. There was a construction area and dumpsters. So this is what they showed us. Recognize the little wall. If you go see it, it's timestamped for you. Here's the wall. Here's this high school in the background. This blue, whatever this is, shed type trailer thing. And he went that way. Okay, so we got to drive down that way a little bit. How about it? You want to drive? Carrie Ann, thank you for being a member for 7 months. Kat says, sending love to Laredo and Grizelda's family. Yes. All right. How much time we got? See, they're always late, no matter what. Sorry, Judge, but you are. Even though you said you're going to try today, still late. Yes, so the church, this church you can see here, has cameras. That's the camera that caught him going this way, 10:41 on April. Wait, he was there on April 7th and again on April 9th. Oh yes, so on April 9th, quickly here, 10:41. By 10:46, he's coming back. All right, now we're going to put the little man down here again. Go, go, little man. So he would be driving past here, not realizing all the cameras that are capturing his freaking vehicle going everywhere. He's driving this way. And he went. So he couldn't have gone too far here. Because, like 2 minutes, 1 minute to get rid of something, another 2 minutes type thing for the camera to capture him back. So if we just look around this area, you see there's still all kinds of trucks and things. There was construction going on in this area. Gerardo says, are you taking a South African taxi ride? Yes. Look, here's Wolf Creek. We keep going. It's East Del Mar Road. Yes, and we go a little more. Let's go just a slight bit more. Here we go. Ooh, okay. And he must have thought somewhere around here there's no cameras or whatever it is, right? Doodle Mom. Oh, damn. Thank you for your $9.99 sticker. Really appreciate it. And Mandy, thank you for being a member for 7 months. Okay. So we're still looking around the area. I don't know if you would have gone much further than this. And then here, I mean, he turns around. You see, there's nothing going on here. No outlet. I'm going to drive a little bit anyway. Maybe you're speeding. Go. Oh, look at this. Becomes a different road. So who knows what would have been here. But I think it was a bit closer. So he goes there, turns around, and comes back. Heads back this way, 10:46. There's the church again on the left. So I would speculate he went to the dumpsters. That's also what the lead detective speculated, is that there were dumpsters out there. And then the district attorney, Isidro Alanis, asked him, well, how do you know? And he's like, because we saw it. I like that. How do you know there were dumpsters there? Because we saw it. And they only discovered this in May. So the crime happened April 9, 2018. They couldn't find him on camera after looking through all that footage on that Shiloh Road. And then in May, they're like, whoa, he was here. Like, what was he doing here? But by then, you see the dumpsters, everything would have been taken to probably landfills and stuff. So he went this way. Okay, now we're going out. Okay. Can we face north again, please? There we go. We need to face north. Empart says, love being here with you all. Man, this court. What are you doing? Interesting. Okay. So, he goes, we just drove that now, what he did. This way, turn around, come this way, gets caught on this camera again, and goes back towards the scene. But what a weird little detour he did as well. Because from there, I wonder if I was going to present it. From there, he goes like this. Yes, not on Shiloh. He goes this way, like that. And from here to northward to this Mines Road area. And eventually he must have gone here because there's no cameras that caught him here. But they did catch him here at this Barbara Faskin Recreation Center, which tells me this is where he was captured, around these two areas on Mines Road. He went north, and then he must have cut through here somewhere, like this. Something like this. But he ended up on the dirt roads, going around here. Fresh tire marks were found here, which was on his presentation, Detective Garcia. Turns around, and Dennison sees him here. He's like, damn, that was weird. Why was he driving like that? He's like, I'm just exploring. This is the area where he said, I'm just exploring. Oh, just exploring. Okay. Well, that's pretty much all the map points that I can show you. Okay. So I hope that was helpful. It takes a while to make this. But I hope it was helpful because it sure helped me. I was like, oh, okay. So I do still wonder, what was he doing here? On April 7th already scoping out the area. On April 9th, going there quickly for 5 minutes. Go there, turn around, come back, go to work. But anyway, I don't know how he didn't think that he's going to be caught on every single camera. As you can see, look at all the points. Look at all the cameras that saw him. Isn't it just ridiculous? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take the map time off. Does it feel sad to end the map time? It would be this one. Okay, let's get everything ready for today. Beautiful picture of Grizelda and Dominic. This one of him is the little Leonardo. Little Ninja Turtle is so cute, oh my word. Like that. And as I say, we are patiently waiting for court to start. The local news station hasn't even started their live stream yet for court. So I don't know what's happening there today. But we will have it ready for when it is ready. And we shall boost it. How about that? Okay. Then I've started transcribing all the text. That takes a long time. Oh my word, I'm doing it line by line. But I'll get there. I'll get there soon. All the text messages. So maybe we could go through some of those now. Let me just quickly put this on for you. There we go. So that we can monitor it. Like that. All right. And I'll put the sound on here. There's no sound at the court yet. Good. So now, let's just see. I haven't seen your messages for a bit. Copper says he's full of cuck. Yeah, full of cuck. He is. Michigan Grandma says he was scoping out his route to get rid of the knife and clothes, in my opinion. I think so too. That is what I think, yes. Sorry, the chat is not glitching nicely. I can't put you on. There we go, on the screen. Mrs. Russell. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Very helpful. Thanks for the great work. Probably was timing himself. Probably that as well. Yes. Okay, so let me fetch what I've made for you so far. Nope. Where would it go now? There you go. There it is. Okay, text message time. I'm going to take this one off. So I will finish this and then probably make a separate video with all the text messages. But from December 7th, 2017, you could see Grizelda sent a practice message to herself that says, hey, so I don't even know how to tell you, but I'm honestly thinking of filing child support for Dominic. He has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me being a pain or anything, but I just have no idea how I'm going to do it next semester. Money's tight as hell, even with me working, and I don't know how else to do it anymore. I can't anymore, really. So she sent it from her phone to her phone as like a practice message, which just already tells you how nervous she is to communicate openly with Burgos. Because she was trying, this was probably a practice message for him, right? Tracy says, welcome new subs, patrons and members. And Tracy, a member for 20 months and a mod and an OG. Really, really original Grizzly from day one. Thank you so much. Crime Curious says, great stream as always. Thank you so much. And nice to see you here. DZ says, oh, okay, wait, that says on set. Thank you for your £1.99 sticker. Damn, Lola says Florida supports Grizzly True Crime and Fury. Okay, you can see the court in the background there. So you will actually see the judge's head right here once they get started. So this was a practice message that Grizelda had sent to herself. Then I blanked out Danny D. Danny D would have been one of her friends, I would assume. I just blanked out some of his number. I don't know if he would have changed his number. I hope so, but yesterday they showed it, and yes, we streamed it as well, and I'm just like, I wouldn't want anyone to bother him. So if you're a part of this community, please don't bother anyone. I'm sure you won't. I've never heard one of you do that, but you know how the internet goes. Ladybug says, excellent map time. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Ladybug. And Amy Beck says, some churches have, baptism ponds or lakes. Was there one by the church you were scoping out? Thanks for all your hard work, G. Thank you, Amy. I'm not sure, but they did talk about him scoping out the dumpsters. The dumpsters would make quite a lot of sense, right? So Grizelda and Danny were chatting. Hey, dude, where have you been? And he says, me, where have you been? I've been going through a lot. I haven't been around. I missed you. Dude, honestly, I couldn't find you on Facebook anymore. I literally search for your ass like once a month. This was from Danny, right? And me too. I've missed talking to you. So the thing is, the bottom message is important. Okay, so last time we talked, you were getting your baby daddy on child support. Right? That was important to show. And this was already from, 13th of Feb 2018. So she was talking to people about it. Remember, he thought she's not going to talk to anyone about any of this. But of course she would. Oh, this guy. So the most important thing there is to show she was talking to people about it. Then this was a screenshot that said, given you any problems at all, not once, or have done anything to you, this is literally breaking me right now and I can't do it anymore. I've had my back against the wall this whole time trying to get by, and I hate to say that I can't do it because I'm trying and I've tried everything and can't. Dominic won't always be that little boy in the pictures not knowing what's going on. He'll soon be older and question me and want to know you. You can't do this to me. And then he said, and I don't have the exact date for this message, but I put it here first because I think chronologically it's what happened before all the others I'm going to show you. I'm going to try not to snark too much, but this dumbass, oh my word. He texts her back, in a few weeks I'll be stopping by. Gots get with you. This guy. Char says, my son is 14 and makes me watch Ninja Turtles with him. This breaks my heart so much. Sending love to everyone involved. Oh, thank you so much, Char or Char. Hope I'm saying your name right. So, I mean, she's literally expressing her needs, saying she's not making it. She's got her back against the wall this whole time. She's trying to get by. She is admitting, like, I hate to say it, but I just can't do this. I need your help. And he says, in a few weeks, I'll be stopping by. Guts, get with you. Yes, Stefan, that's it. Snotkop. This one. Hierdie een. Oh, my word. That is just... What a shallow, invalidating, disgusting response from this POS right here. So, we continue on. March 20th, 2018 to April 11, 2018. That was the time that lead detective Raymundo Garcia requested Facebook, Snapchat, Google records, all of that. All the things that we want to see, right? To be like, what happened here? What did he say? And so, on Burgos' records, though, there are no messages from him during this time frame. Smart. He was like, I'm going to delete everything. So, but Grizelda took screenshots of his messages at the time. So even though he thought he was really, really smart, and deleted everything, she was 10 steps ahead of him. Yes. Yes, indeed. He was like, haha, I'm going to delete all my messages. No one's going to know. How would they know? Oh, they're going to know. One, you're dealing with incredible detectives, a really great team. Laredo PD, I mean, they've had such excellent witnesses. Their work is really great, right? Of course, in other cases, we see, sometimes police officers, we're like, damn, what are they doing? Like Ellen Greenberg, like Sean Doherty, where they're like, they did it to themselves. Oh, my word. Anyway, so moving on. Grizelda was taking screenshots, and those screenshots were found on her phone, even though he's like, there's no messages from me to her during that time. So I've made this for you,
Morning.
which you can look forward to later. You can see what I've been doing for you. Grizelda.
Let's bring in the jury. Oh, let's bring in the defendant first.
Yeah, bring in the defendant. Okay, I'll show you this. I'll show you this.
Make sure they get the defendant in. Okay.
Make sure you get the defendant in. Okay, so let's take this off. We'll get back to it, but you can see what I'm making for you.
Good morning.
Okay, good morning, Judge Lopez. Okay, I'm going to put that picture back up here. Welcome to day 7, morning session. Here we go. Ah, the defendant's back. Looking so pleased. Not.
Okay.
Oh, we're seeing the ceiling.
Do we have Detective Garcia?
Nice. You guys, I left my coffee in the kitchen and I'm gonna need to go get it. But don't worry, the stream is going. I'm just quickly gonna get my coffee, okay? I'll be right back.
Good morning, Detective Garcia.
Good morning.
Please have a seat in the witness chair. We're waiting for the jury to come in.
What did I miss besides table tapping? Yeah, we cannot survive this day without coffee. Thank
You
you
know what, we
to
didn't
everyone who's
tell,
sending me coffees. Really appreciate it.
Man, I don't have anything about today. Oh, but
Hot mic, hot mic. Okay. So, we are the interesting. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. Helfig says, Garcia, crush them. That's right. Jane, you better not. The mods will get you. That was a yawn from the judge.
still on.
Is the still on? The judge is like, hello. Waiting for the jury to enter the room. Tony, Elia, like any true narcissist, Burgos put little thought into his plan because he thought he was smart. He thought Grizelda was worthless and the police would never suspect. He's so smarter than those who surround him. That's what I thought. Thank you, Tony. I agree. P.T. Nottaman for Fury. Thank you so much. He's had his favorite little meat stick today and some little chicken strip snacks. Yeah, he's very lucky. Thank you so much. Stacy L says, no, Garcia, finish him. That's right, finish him.
Good morning.
He's back in for another round of humiliation.
Good morning.
Doodle Mom says, gee, thank you for all you do. You are truly appreciated in all your hard work. Thank you so much.
Good morning.
I'm typing. If you guys are hearing typing.
Thank you, everyone. Please have a seat. And good morning. So, yesterday, Mr. Pena, the state passed a witness, Detective Garcia, who is now on the witness stand. Any questions?
Oh.
Is it on? A ver, so let's check it out for a little bit. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Can I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
Detective Garcia, good morning.
Morning.
You arrived at the scene of the crime on April 9, 2018 at around 11:46, correct? 46 a.m., is that correct?
11:46. Yes, correct.
And the first persons that you encountered on the scene were Border Patrol agents Bradley Dennison Francisco Lara and Mr. Burgos, the defendant, correct?
At the scene, yes, Burgos, Bradley, Lara, and I believe Jimmy Smith.
Bradley Dennison?
Bradley Dennison, yes.
Yes. And you spoke to the Border Patrol agent who first discovered the body of Grizelda Hernandez, and that was Ronald Burgos, correct?
I'm sorry, can you repeat it? The Border Patrol engine?
Yes. You spoke to the Border Patrol agent who first discovered the body of Grizelda Hernandez, and that was Ronald Burgos?
Yes, correct.
And you asked Mr. Burgos for his ID, and he handed you his ID, correct?
That is correct.
And Mr. Burgos' ID identified him as Ronald Anthony Burgos-Aviles, correct?
Correct.
Still on with that.
And later on in the morning of that occasion, do you remember handing his ID back to Mr. Burgos?
Yes, I handed his ID back to Burgos.
Okay. And so Mr. Burgos correctly identified himself as Ronald Anthony Burgos-Aviles from the very beginning when he handed you his ID, correct?
Yes, correct.
You also testified that you recovered a Chick-fil-A receipt, which I believe is State's Exhibit Number 1, during your investigation of the scene of the crime?
Not of the scene of the crime. That was recovered later.
Later, but you did recover it,
Yes.
correct? And that receipt was not recovered from Mr. Burgos' patrol unit, but rather from the Mercedes-Benz that Ms. Hernandez was driving on that date, correct?
It was recovered from Grizelda's sister.
Okay. Now, you also testified that you found 2 hypodermic needles in Mr. Burgos' lunch bag, correct?
Correct.
In the course of your investigation, did you discover that Mr. Burgos had been prescribed testosterone?
I don't recall that.
Interesting. Thank you, Mama, for.
Did you conduct any investigation to determine whether Mr. Burgos had a legitimate reason for being in possession of the hypodermic needles?
No.
Okay, so the state is relying at least in a significant part on the theory that Mr. Burgos attempted to either kill or harm Dominic Hernandez on March the 25th of 2018 when he met with Grizelda Hernandez at Winfield Park. You're aware of that, correct?
I'm aware.
And they have made a big deal about Dominic having what appeared to be a puncture wound on his thigh. Correct?
Yes, correct.
And you're aware that they claim that one of the 18 gauge hypodermic needle that was recovered from Mr. Burgos' patrol unit matches the size of the puncture wound on Dominic's thigh, correct?
Can you repeat that again?
Yes, sir. Part of the state's theory is that when Mr. Burgos met with Grizelda Hernandez on March 25th of 2018 at Winfield Park, that he intentionally injected some kind of a foreign substance into the thigh of Dominic and that it left the puncture wound in question.
Yes.
You're aware of that, right?
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Okay. So knowing that that is an important part of the state's case, you decided that you were not going to make any investigation whatsoever to determine whether Mr. Burgos had a legitimate reason for being in possession of the hypodermic needles?
Okay.
From what I discovered with discussions with Corrine Stern, that she believed that it was caused either by a 14 gauge or 18 gauge needle. I really just, needed for me to find that instrument that she believed that was used.
Was that the extent of your investigation with regard to that issue?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so you did not investigate Dr. Antonio Rodriguez, the pediatrician who diagnosed the puncture wound as a spider bite?
Yes, yes. Yes, we spoke to Dr. Rodriguez.
And you learned that in his opinion that puncture wound was caused by a spider bite, correct? By an insect bite.
By an insect bite, because he was going off of what was previously told to him by the emergency doctors, or the emergency doctor's reports.
And you learned that Dr. Antonio Rodriguez examined Dominic on 3 separate occasions, and on each of those occasions his diagnosis was spider bite and his treatment was for spider bite, correct?
Correct.
Did you also examine the medical records from doctor's hospital pertaining to this same so-called insect bite incident?
Correct, yes.
And those records also indicated that the injury was caused by a spider bite and the treatment that was recommended was for a spider bite injury, correct?
Correct.
Did you also inspect the medical records from the emergency care clinic, which I think was Vital Care?
Vital Care, yes.
And they also agreed in their diagnosis and in the recommended treatment that the puncture wound on Dominic's leg was caused by some kind of an insect bite, not by hypodermic needle, correct?
Correct.
So he's trying to debunk premeditation.
You found 2 hypodermic needles in Mr. Burgos' lunch bag, and you did not determine that he was prescribed testosterone. Do you know that testosterone is administered by an injection?
Yes, I have knowledge.
Okay. So that would be a reason for Mr. Burgos to be in possession of those hypodermic needles. Do you agree?
It would be plausible, yes.
Yeah.
But what did he use it for? Could have been for Drano or anything else, right? Something.
And this is part of your investigation. You conducted a criminal background check on Mr. Ronald Burgos, correct?
Correct.
And you found that he has never been convicted of a felony or even a misdemeanor, and that he has never been arrested for any type of offense.
He's a very good boy.
Correct.
Now what? See, now his skin looks better today again. He's busy mumbling to himself again. Now what are they? Why is the mic quiet? What are they? Is this like... And Boggs is like, no, this is what to say. I'm just looking at what you guys are saying here, okay?
Sorry, Runner, I'll go ahead and pass the witness.
Oh, They're done?
Yes.
Okay. Passing the
Yesterday,
witness.
you testified.
Is your mic on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Detective. Yesterday, you testified on the dirt trail where you found Grizelda Hernandez. Do you recall that testimony?
Yes, I do.
And you described there that there was a lot of blood on the trail, correct?
Correct.
You went over some of the physical items that were there. Do you remember any additional physical items that were on the dirt trail that were collected?
That were collected, I would say that there was additional items collected the next day, yes.
Okay. Do you recall if and I think we saw the pictures yesterday, there was a rock with blood on it.
Yes, correct.
Do you know if that rock was collected?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Did you find any other evidence belonging to Grizelda on the dirt trail?
Belonging to the dirt, to Grizelda on the dirt trail, just the blood that came back to Grizelda.
Do you remember finding any hair, or anything else that?
Yes, there was hair that was recovered the next day.
And where was the hair located?
It was recovered in the vicinity where Grizelda was, and there was also some hair by where Dominic's body was found.
When I asked you yesterday, but did you all search for a weapon around that area?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Walkabout Bridge, yes, sorry. There's the label. Detective Raymundo Garcia with his excellent attention to detail is back on the stand. Oh, we're going to see the rock or what now? Oh, no.
Show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 5 and ask if you recognize this exhibit.
I've seen it before, but
You want to put on some gloves?
sure.
Hope so
Johnny,
too,
are
Deb.
the bags inside of that bag labeled separately, or?
Yes, sir. We did that right now
Okay.
before you came out.
All right, thank you.
So they'll be labeled. I'll go over them right now.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so this is State's Exhibit 5.
Okay.
I'm going to show you what's been labeled as State's Exhibit 5.1. Can you look at that?
Yes.
Okay. You recognize that?
Yes.
Okay. You can take 5.2. Do you recognize that?
Yes, I do.
5.3,
Yes, I do.
5.4,
Yes.
5.5,
Yes.
5.6,
Yes.
and 5.7.
Yes.
And what do all these items have in common?
They're strands of hair, and they're the rock with blood.
And where were they found?
They were found in the crime scene.
So this is Exhibit 5, and we've labeled it 5.1 through 5.7.
Walk right into that mic they put there. Oh, man.
Move to introduce offer.
All right.
States Exhibit 5, which contains 5.1 through 5.7.
Any objection?
Objection to order.
Admitted.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as 5.7. You remember seeing this item,
Yes.
and what is it?
It's the rock that was found near Grizelda and near the left white shoe.
And what is on this object, this rock?
Blood?
Now, when you went back the next day, how many samples of hair were found?
Yeah, we collected them. We collected them also. It's
Well, I'll ask you how many evidence bags contain hair in them, if you can count them.
yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
And when we say hair, what type of hair?
It's human hair, long human hair.
Okay, when you say long human hair, what specifically? Gender?
I don't know specifically gender, but it's long.
Did Grizelda have long hair?
Yes, she did.
Is this hair consistent with her hair?
Yes.
And where were the hair found?
Again, they were found where Grizelda was found and where Dominic was found.
Do you know if you all tried to do DNA on this hair?
Not those hairs.
Okay. Do you know why not?
Because there were several sharp force injuries on the top of her, by her head area, and we knew that it was just hair that was cut off by during the attack.
Oh man.
So your testimony is that the hair that was found along the trail was hair that was cut during the attack.
Yes.
Very well.
Okay, they done?
And no further questions.
Mr. Pena, any recross?
Ask about the hair. Ask about the hair.
Just a couple of questions, if I may run.
Sure.
I say that because that's what I would do if I was defense, right? Just be like, oh, so you didn't test that?
Detective Garcia, as the lead detective, you review the reports, the incident reports, and the supplement reports prepared by other investigators who are assisting you in the investigation, correct?
Correct. There are many of them.
So you had occasion to review the interview that was conducted by Investigator Elizondo and by Investigator Reyes of Mr. Burgos-Aviles on April 9, 2018.
Yes.
During the course of that interview, Mr. Burgos advised both detectives Reyes and Elizondo that he had picked up the cell phones of the victim because he knows that they contain valuable evidence and that he put them in his patrol unit to preserve them. Do you recall him telling them that?
During the interview? No, I recall him saying that he saw cell phones, but he never said that he recovered them and put them in the unit.
Did he tell that to you or to another investigator?
To another investigator during that interview.
Do you recall who the other investigator was?
I believe it was investigator Ernesto Elizondo.
Okay. So, just to clarify your testimony, Mr. Burgos told investigator Elizondo, looked, I saw these 2 cell phones. I recognized that they're important evidence in the case, so I placed them in my patrol unit.
No,
Or words to that effect.
he didn't say that. No, he said that he saw 2 phones there, and I think I believe that the questioning continued. You got to realize that we really didn't know about the phones while he was being interviewed. So
Wow.
I would say that the phones weren't important at that point. We were looking for phones because the sister was saying that, did you find her phones? But we hadn't found the phones in the truck yet.
And you found them because Mr. Burgos told you that they were there, correct?
No, he didn't tell us where the phones were.
You mentioned that you didn't find them until after Mr. Burgos said that he had picked up the phones, isn't that correct?
I'm sorry, can you say the question again?
Yes, I believe you mentioned that the cell phones in question were not found until after Mr. Burgos had told Detective Elizondo that he had picked up those 2 cell phones as evidence.
He never said that he picked up the phones. He just mentioned that he saw 2 phones.
He busted himself.
And yes, that interview was before we found the phones in the truck.
Okay. And you never spoke directly to Mr. Burgos about that, correct?
No, I did not.
You're relying on your recollection of what you read in Detective Elizondo's report?
Of what I reviewed from their interview, their recorded interview.
And you reviewed hundreds of pages of reports, correct?
Hundreds of pages, yes. It was a lengthy investigation. There were many supplements turned in.
No, it's like, Mr. Boggs. Yeah, there's nothing else.
You would agree that the 2 cell phones at a double homicide crime scene are important?
Yes, definitely.
That they could contain very important information,
Very, very important information.
critical to the investigation.
Yes.
And when you first arrived and made contact with Agent Burgos at the crime scene, did he mention to you at that moment that he had recovered or had 2 cell phones in his kilo unit?
No, he did not.
Did he mention to you that he had a bloody belt keeper in his kilo unit?
No, he did not.
No further questions.
Anything else, Fred?
No, Your Honor.
No,
Thank
Your
you.
Honor.
Okay.
Detective
Detective-
Garcia, you may step down.
He was so
You are
brilliant.
released, or you may go about your business.
Detective Raymundo Garcia, excellent presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
What now? What now?
Your Honor, at this time, the state of Texas will rest.
Told you. Boom. Okay,
Very
we
well.
all knew it. They rest.
Approach, please.
Ooh, you guys.
Thank you.
Now they're gonna ask the defense. So, you got your witness? You got the witness yet? They're like, I don't know, not yet, probably not yet, maybe tomorrow, I don't know. And then is it a day or what are we doing, guys? The state has rested their case, and I think they did it brilliantly with a very powerful. All the witnesses were excellent. This last witness, lead detective Raymundo Garcia. Whew. It does remind me of the Letitia Stark trial. Remember when Kevin Clark, crime analyst, brought his timeline? It was, you could not dispute where that tiki one was. Remember the musical suspects and where everything is and all of that. All those details. They also left that till last. So I'm like, brilliant. And this reminded me of that, right? I'm like, oh, okay, look at this compilation. Wow. And Laura's like, what does that mean? So in a trial, first it's the prosecution's turn to bring all their witnesses. And if it's a 3 to 4 week trial, I always, in my mind, I'm like, okay, so 2 weeks for prosecution, 2 weeks for the defense, something like that. But it could change. The timelines could shift, right? But the point is, the prosecution has now brought on all their witnesses. They've been questioned and cross-examined, and now the state has rested their case. So what happens next in the trial is the defense will bring their witness or witnesses, and then they can also be cross-examined by the prosecution. And their strategy really is to say that cell phone pings are not reliable. And it sounds like the other strategy is to say that Burgos was a really good boy. He was so compliant. He was such a nice guy. He never did anything before. So, I mean, they don't have much to go on. But anyway, now the defense will bring their witnesses. In the Daubert hearing, we already saw one of the witnesses that they're going to be bringing on. So we shall see Mr. Shank, I believe, talking about... sorry, I'm not trying to throw shade, but outdated cell phone information. Good luck to them. And then the defense will rest their case. And once the defense has rested their case, which now I'm thinking this could really be by the end of the week, it could be tomorrow, it could be maybe early next week. We'll see. But once the defense has rested their case, then the jury deliberates. And I don't think that's going to be long. I think we could be here probably for verdict watch. I'm thinking we could be like, oh, wow, the jury's gone to deliberate. And then do some map time and they'll be like, oh, my word, we're not even done with our map time. They're back, you guys. But that's just my assumption. That's my gut feel here. What do you think? Vanessa says, oh, Lordy, Mr. Shank, he's going to be back. Yeah, Marisol says he's self-sketching. Yes, he probably is, drawing his own portraits to sell. Oh, man. Algoma once said, who here thinks Burgos did do things before? I mean, that's savagery. And if he was also taking testosterone, which I don't know if it's for his biceps. I'm saying it because of the type of person he is, right? He's like, I'm gymming. I'm taking testosterone. Got needles in his lunchbox. Okay, bro. Yeah, all of that. But the savagery, everything he did, the not so smart. I wonder if he did anything before. I'm not sure if it would be anything like this. But there's probably a few things in his past, right? Yeah, the closing argument, sorry. Did I skip that? Prosecution, rest their case. Defense, rest their case. Closing arguments. Jury deliberates. I'm just ready for sentencing. Are you also? I'm so ready for sentencing. Sometimes that's, as we saw with Letitia, like on the day. Sometimes it's weeks later. We shall see. I really hope it's also... How is it in Texas? I hope it's also like on the day. Okay, what are we looking at? Tammy says, I do believe that was the best prosecution case I've ever seen. It was good, right? Thank you. Thank you, Tammy, for your $4.99 super sticker. Oh, while they're doing this, I quickly want to do something else. Hold on. Yeah, Impod says, got the needles, where's the testosterone then? Boogie boy. I'm just gonna leave it there. Okay. What's gonna happen? Are we ready for closing arguments? We're ready for sentencing. Could he just plead guilty? Ooh, let's see. I missed that. In the Ortiz case, it was same day. Ooh, nice. And that's also Laredo, Texas. Sentencing same day, huh? Do you mean the jury, the verdict, or sentencing? Same day, huh? Chrissy No says, that detective hit it out of the park. They sure did. They really did. Every witness was just, they got better and better. And I mean, it doesn't mean better. Like the first one wasn't as good. They were all good. And we're like, damn, this is an excellent witness. And another one. It was amazing. They sure did. They used the 5 years very well. Preparing for this trial, huh? What is he saying?
We're trying to decide what time to the state has rested their case.
Yes.
And
Thank you, Bernie.
there are things that we have to do if and when. First, if the defense will decide to put on any evidence. As you know, the defense has no burden whatsoever in this case, and therefore it is absolutely their right and privilege to put on anything if they'd like. And of course, the fact that they do or they do not will not factor into your deliberations, as you all know.
Ooh, yeah. Skip it.
So, I think rather than have you sit there for quite some time, I'm going to release you to come back until 1 o'clock. That way you can go and maybe even have lunch at home. Who knows? But in any event, you all decide. I do need you all back here at 1 o'clock. The case, even though the state has rested, the case is still not given to you yet. You remember that it's not given to you yet until all of the evidence is in, and we still don't know if all the evidence is in, 1. 2, until I've read the instructions and the charge to you, which I have not done. And 3, until counsel has given you your final arguments. So there's still a lot to do. All right? So we'll see you here at 1 o'clock. Thank you.
Please rise for the jury.
Wow. Okay. Very interesting. The judge is like, whoa, he could see the finish line. That's right, Judge. Start writing out your sentencing speech. I'm sure he's already got it. Walkabout Bridge says, thank you for your beautiful coverage, G. Thank you so much for the 11-11. One o'clock, okay. Always got to take. So now it's almost 10. 11, 12, 1. So now it's almost 5. So like 8 o'clock.
Please have a seat.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. All right, the jury is now out of the courtroom. There is a motion that was filed by the defense,
Ooh.
which I'd like to hear now.
Yes, tell us the motion.
Yes, Judge. Ms. Pizzell is going to argue the motion. It's a motion to strike Dr. Stern's testimony as false and misleading.
Oh, my
All right,
word.
come on up.
Dr. Stern was the one that said it was
Rather
an
do
18 gauge needle
unless you
used on
need
his
your
leg.
laptop with you for this, I'd rather do it up here than do it across the courtroom that way.
Okay,
Thank
here
you.
we go.
All right. Counsel for the state, whoever, thank you. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. We have filed, I believe last night, a motion in this court and the state to, oh, and I actually have a hard copy of the motion coming, if I can grab it.
Do you want one?
Sure. Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so to confirm, the court now has before it the motion to correct the false testimony of Webb County Medical Examiner Dr. Ken Stern.
To correct the testimony.
Well, and we have proposed several remedies. One of them would be to strike the testimony entirely, or we've also asked for a curative instruction from this court.
All right.
We have gone back and reviewed the testimony that came in through Dr. Stern on Monday, June 26th. She testified that she, on direct examination, she testified that she passed her boards in 2001. However, she is not board certified. On cross-examination, she was asked what she was referring to by that. She said, my medical pathology boards. And when she was asked on what date she was certified, she said 2001. She is not a board certified medical examiner.
So in her cross, you're saying she said that she had passed her medical pathology boards?
Correct. And then she was asked
Do you have
if
the
she was
testimony
certified.
to that effect?
Well, Your Honor, we have a unofficial transcript. If there's a dispute about it, we are happy to defer to the official transcript by Ms. Lentz.
So what is the unofficial, where did you get the unofficial transcript
Thank you,
from?
Crystal.
We created it, Your Honor.
Oh,
As
okay.
you're aware, this trial has been televised and put up in its entirety on the internet, so we rewatched it to make
Indeed
sure
it has.
that you're correctly representing
We
the
knew
court
you
what was
watched
said.
it.
So, okay, so go ahead and tell me what you believe she said under, using your unofficial transcript.
Yes, Your Honor, which has been filed with the court as Exhibit A. On page 21 of that document, according to our
Okay.
Thanks,
according
Stefan.
to our transcription, Mr. Pena said, "Doctor, you mentioned that you passed your boards. What exactly were you referring to?" And she said, "The American Academy of Forensic, the American Academy of the American Board of Pathology, my forensic medicine boards given by the American Board of Pathology." Mr. Pena, I see. So what date did you get certified? Stern, it was in 2001. And so our position is that Dr. Stern has at least created the misleading impression that she is a board-certified pathologist, which she is not. Mr. Alanis called her, and we had a conversation with her yesterday morning in which she clarified at that point that she only passed her board. She has not been officially certified. However, she is a certified doctor of osteopathy. We recognize that. But since Dr. Stern was introduced as the state's only expert witness on the actual nature of the wound at issue, it's been a major part of their case. There were 3 different medical professionals who saw Dominic at the time of the injury within 24 hours and all reached the same opinion. Dr. Stern was the only medical expert to reach a contrary opinion, and the state introduced that testimony through her.
So the board, all medical doctors have to pass a board,
Yes.
right? Am I saying that correctly? Do y'all know?
believe that to be
I
true.
don't know that. Maybe perhaps we should have a doctor here to that effect. But I believe that sort of like a lawyer passing the bar, right?
Yes, exactly.
I think that's the way it's been explained to me. So assuming that that's correct, I hope that whoever's listening to this doesn't think that we are
Cynthia, it was
whatever
apparently
for
in the
thinking
Ortiz
that.
case.
But in any event,
in December.
when she said I passed the boards, she was being truthful. What your concern is that when at cross, when she said, I think you have the language that you
I will
alleged she
explain.
said, which is when she was asked which board did you pass, and
just
she
don't
went
wanna
through a
interrupt.
litany of. Was it a laundry list of things, or was this an attempt to describe it?
Your Honor, my interpretation was that it was an attempt to describe. I can read it back if you'd
Please.
like, because I don't believe any of those assertions were complete. Again, Dr. Stern responded, the American Academy of Forensic, the American Academy of the American Board of Pathology.
Can you slow down just a bit?
Yes, Ms.
So
Lynch.
she said the American Board of Pathology.
Correct. My forensic medicine boards given by the American Board of Pathology. And I am aware that Your Honor has before you Exhibit B to on the pending motion, which is official letter from the American Board of Pathology certifying that Dr. Stern has not been certified by the board. We believe this is yet another issue going to her credibility. She has been certified as a doctor, but not a certified pathologist. I know
I wish
many
Thea
doctors
was
that I
there.
would not like performing an autopsy and identifying
During the
wounds,
Letitia
even
Staub
though they
trial.
have been generally certified as a medical practitioner. And again, this is allegedly her opinion testimony is kind of the missing link for this part of the state's theory, and it goes against the weight of the other licensed medical professionals.
All right.
We believe this created at least a false impression, and the state has both a duty to correct it, and it would be a constitutional violation if it was allowed to go to the jury as
All
it
right.
stands.
And you said you have some alternatives with regard to how this should be remedied. You have one at the top of your list, and then you have other options. What are they?
Yes, Your Honor. We would ask first that the testimony of Dr. Stern be struck in its entirety. We,
Wow.
in the alternative, would ask that this court issue an instruction informing the jury something to the effect of that according to the American Board of Pathology, Dr. Stern has not and is not board certified, has not been and is not board certified. That this court issue a further instruction that Dr. Stern's testimony to the contrary should be considered in relation to her testimony as a whole, and 3, that this court instruct the jury that it may reject the entirety of Dr. Stern's testimony and conclusions on the basis of her lack of candor to this court.
Did you say and in the conjunctive, or is it disjunctive 2 and 3?
We would defer to Your Honor, but our position, I believe, is clear that we believe the testimony should be stricken in its entirety and at best limited by this court.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Alanis.
Yes, Your Honor. I was informed of this situation yesterday morning. We did,
Bring the
like Counsel
receipts.
Posel stated, we did call Dr. Stern. I wanted to try to clarify this. Dr. Stern was clear in explaining that she never said she was board certified or a specialist. She said, I passed my boards. I don't consider the transcript that counsel is presenting to the court as being an official transcript. And
Exactly.
also, this is compiled from YouTube and other social.
That's right, from Grizzly.
media or other internet
That's right.
sites showing the trial. So I would not agree with the transcript, but it is clear that Dr. Stern did say that she passed her forensic boards in 2001, that she's a member of the National Association of Medical Examiners.
Now we know what
and
Thea
the
was doing on
American
Friday.
Academy of Forensic Sciences. That's what she said. It's a far cry from what counsel's alleging that she would have come up here and intentionally misrepresented or given some sort of false impression to
Well,
the jury.
We've got a post-it note.
To the jury where they're making reference to the questioning by Attorney Pena that says you mentioned that you passed your boards. What exactly were you referring to?
We have timestamps.
You're reading from where?
I'm reading from what she submitted
Oh,
to the
okay.
court. And it says, Stern, the American Academy of Forensic, the American Academy of American Board of Pathology, my forensic medicine boards given by the
Yes.
American Board of
Looking
Pathology.
at the back of his head like,
That's-
What does she mean by that?
Whatever it means, she's
Board of Pathology.
yeah, that she's passed her boards, her tests, like we passed our bar exams, or
The only thing is that I don't think it's the. I know that when, and again, right, I shouldn't say I know, right?
Well, the thing is this, Your Honor, I really think this is a play on words.
Yes.
Because then Mr. Pena says, I see, so what date did you get certified? Okay. Well, it was in 2001, she says. Then he says, now I'd like to talk a little bit about your history. You spent about the last 16 years as a medical examiner for Webb County, correct? And then, that's correct. And then, all right, let's talk about your work as a medical examiner in Alabama. So that's when they went into the Alabama.
I'd like to admit my
History.
post-it note.
So,
Yeah,
my concern is this, Your Honor. The jury is the judge of the credibility of the witnesses. What they hear and what weight they give to our experts is up to them, whether they believe all, some, or none of their testimony. Really, what the best remedy for this would be argument at closing argument. We never presented her as a specialist, a board certified specialist. The record's clear that Dr. Stern was honest in her responses. The one that injects the word certified into the questions is Mr. Pena. But then again, it's that word certified is so broad. If he would have said, "Are you a certified specialist?"
Let's put the word certified out of the equation for a little bit and just concentrate on whether or not she passed her board of pathology.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
Did she say that she had passed her board in pathology?
Did
Yes,
she or did she
did.
not?
She's passed her boards. And,
Well,
I
but in
mean,
pathology? Because everybody has to get a specialization, right? I mean, I don't know how this works, and perhaps we need clarification on that. How does that, in other words, can you all agree, look it up to see what you all can agree on with regard to how a medical doctor actually gets, in other words, they go to medical school, they go through all the rigors of that, they do their residencies or whatever it is that they do with regard to that, which is very rigorous as well. I have several friends that have gone through that. We both ended up in school, graduate school at the same time, and
Thank you,
I
WFO Carter 84.
finished, and they did not, so they stayed behind and finished their work. And then after that, they I guess they present their boards and they take a test.
Objection,
And-
speculation.
And they pass or they don't pass the test, and if they don't pass it, they got to do it again. And so that board is what? Is that the board of just medical, whatever it is that you're doing?
That's
or
right. None
what
of
is
you
it
know,
that it
so
is
sit
as far as you know?
down.
As far as, Your Honor, all I can say is this, that the proper remedy in this situation already left the station. The time to have done that was under cross-examination to go in depth.
Exactly.
As to her, if there was a question regarding
Yeah.
her licensing, her boards, her certifications,
Valid
whatever it was,
point.
that's what cross-examination is for. Now that
Obviously.
they're asking the court to do their job and saying, hey, strike her testimony because we didn't like what we heard.
But then now
Lame.
we can bring her back.
Well, they could call her back and she could clarify this, but
And
she
she
was
will.
she never got up here and misrepresented anything. She said, "I passed my boards," and then he moved on to Alabama.
what I want to know is, did she pass her American Board of Pathology? Because she said the American Board of Pathology, or at least that's what the transcript that you read says that.
May I, Your Honor?
Yes.
So I think part of the issue here is that our understanding from, and again, this is off the record, this was a phone call Mr. Alanis
Oh,
made
off
to
the
Dr.
record.
Stern yesterday morning when this first arose.
No, ma'am.
She represented to us, again, we are not familiar with the licensing process, but that there is an exam, and that is a part, but not the complete certification process. So she was never certified. She asserted that she never testified. She was certified, and to the extent that the word certified was introduced and offered by Mr. Pena,
I'll show
she
you a
did not
picture now.
clarify, no, I am not certified. I passed my boards in 2001. That would have been the opportunity. Surely we can't impeach her with this document because it's not a
Way to
statement of hers. We gave her the opportunity on cross-examination to clarify the record as she
Oh.
insisted that she has.
Is that I don't know what question you all asked her, asked the American Board of Pathology, but it says here that Dr. Grinstern is not a diplomat of the American Board of Pathology. So I don't know what it is that it.
I would ask Your Honor respectfully to continue reading the rest and has not been certified by this board.
Right, but well, they didn't ask her, have you been certified by the American Board of Pathology? They just said, have you been certified? Are you certified? When were you certified?
Oh, okay. Sound
And
check,
so I'm
mic
not
check.
sure.
Freaking YouTube glitching.
Uh,
Make sure you guys refresh your screen if it happens. Oh my word, it's so annoying.
wait.
Your Honor,
Yeah.
if you look, and we can mark this as an exhibit, which I'm holding, if you notice under board examinations and
If it froze for a
certification,
second,
Yeah.
you missed nothing.
when you're certified, you're a diplomat. And look what she says on board examinations
Okay.
and certifications. Under
Yeah.
the National Board of Osteopathic,
Oh, she's a diplomat.
she's a diplomat. And then look what she says on the American Board of Pathology
Examination.
examination. There's no misrepresentations here, Your Honor.
Oh,
It's all there.
exactly. It's all there. You got nothing, defense. You got nothing.
Okay, so she puts on her CV that she's.
It was this lady, you guys, from day one, that they're arguing about. This lady, Dr. Stern.
I guess the distinction she makes between the National Board of Osteopathic Medical Examiners, which also is a medical examiner license. I'm not sure what osteopathic means, but that she's a diplomat there since 1996.
This lady.
And that on the American Board of Pathology, she classified it as forensic pathology examination, 2001.
Can't believe the cock they come up with.
And that CV is not. It is a part of the exhibits.
We did not include it, Your
Okay.
Honor.
We'd like to submit it.
As part of this, for this hearing.
Yes.
Judge, do you want it to be another state's non-jury?
I guess it would, whatever you'd like, it's for purpose of this particular hearing, and they've attached their exhibits to their motion.
We would say if it's going to be made an argument before the jury, then we would want it to be made
So where's the
a
jury?
trial exhibit.
Oh.
I mean, if
That
this
was-
is to throw out premeditation, what about
Even in our
the
closing, I don't know.
surveillance that showed him at
I
the
will
near the
not-
church
My
area?
intention is not to go up there and call her a specialist.
The text
Or
messages?
that she's board certified. I wasn't going to even use those words in my closing. She's a medical examiner, and that was her opinion. what they have on their side is they have the ER, they have Dr. Rodriguez, and then they have the other clinic saying it was an insect bite. It's what the jury decides to believe.
And we know what we believe,
what
right?
was the remedy that
As the public, guys.
Your remedy is just leave it the way it is, basically. Okay.
And?
We would,
Aside from number one.
okay, aside from number one, if Your Honor chooses not to strike Dr. Stern's testimony, we would request an instruction from this court instructing the jury that she is not board certified by the American Board of Pathology, that her answer...
Well, see, I don't know if I could say that other than saying that she's not a diplomat of the American Board of Pathology.
Well, Your Honor, we would also stipulate to
Because that's not what
admission
this
of the exact language from that letter. So the full sentence of the board being that she is not a diplomat and has not been certified by this board, going to the jury as an instruction relating to Dr. Stern's credibility as a whole and her opinions.
Yeah, CT girl, bring her
We'll have
back
to
up.
sort of like run through that. Okay, okay, number two was basically an instruction saying that Dr. Stern...
Perhaps according to the American Board of Pathology, Dr. Stern is not a diplomat and has not been certified by the board.
See, the thing is this. It's very difficult, unless you all agree to the instruction, to allow the instruction in, because it'll be an evidentiary instruction of some sort without having evidence actually in. And so I hate for it to be a comment one way or another on the weight of any part of the evidence. So as much as I hate it, they just Mr. Alanis, as much as I hate it, it would have to, if you all could find the words to perhaps agree on in terms of that, that as opposed to an instruction on what Dr. Stern is not a certified diplomat of the American Board of Pathology. I think she would probably testify that if she came to testify, she would testify that she is not a diplomat of the American Board of Pathology. That would be an easy stipulation to make. And so that would then be able to be used by defense at argument that in fact she is not a diplomat of the American Board of Pathology, and therefore and that she may have said this or that
William
with regard
Boggs.
to that particular question, because that particular question in its entirety was not asked. It was asked sort of like in pieces after her response was.
He's like,
And I don't know, are you
Mr. Boggs.
certified? If it should have been, are you certified by the American Board of Pathology, as opposed to, are you just certified?
Well, yes, Your Honor, in context, immediately following her response that she passed her forensic boards of the American Board of Pathology and was asked when she was certified, and she gave the date that she passed the examination, I believe that, that was her opportunity to clarify, as she insists.
You have to ask the questions. I get it. Okay, so that's what I'm because you're saying that I should instruct them that she is not, and then you're saying I should also instruct them, what?
That her
Yeah, what now?
representation, otherwise our failure to clarify, goes to her credibility, and the jury may consider it.
thank you, Leslie.
Okay, and so on your end, Mr. Alanis, you're saying
That's right.
I don't think it needs any instruction. I think the jury should be left the way it is, and we'll take it
I
from
like
there.
that one.
I strongly should agree that you all should, because other than that stipulation, it would have to be her to be brought back, and then you would have to ask her those questions.
Well, Your Honor, yesterday, when we were discussing this in the conference room, Mr. Alanis had potentially indicated, stipulating to the admission of that letter to the jury. We would also accept that as a remedy if the district attorney would agree.
Well, my official position is this.
You're going to get this in, and you would have no objection to the CV in if he does that, or
Is Eduardo napping? For real, for real.
Mr.
I think he's
Pena,
napping.
Mr. Boggs?
That'd be the only way that
He was napping.
we would have conceded.
One of the, you,
He was having nap time. Shame, Eduardo. He's so tired.
her CV and this letter.
As long as, Judge, I would also ask
He's
for a
just like, I'm
stipulation so
defeated.
that we could read her testimony during arguments. And I understand there isn't an official
This is not even good
But
body
there,
language.
if
I'm
you
like,
ask for it, it could be at argument, probably.
look at Mr.
It'll
Alanis,
just take a little
hand
bit
in
to
pocket,
get it out, but we'll,
like a boss. Boggs
at
is like,
argument. I'm not even looking at my court reporter right now.
I'm very fond of Ms. Lentz, Your Honor, and I've bothered her a lot over these years, so
oh yeah, desperate stuff by the defense.
We would look for it, and then we'd see, and I say we as we're a team, and we would try our best to be able to get that out. I mean,
No.
this was not there's no daily here, so as a result of that, it's different.
So,
So-
Your Honor,
Crime
at the end of
circus.
all of these arguments are being
Crime
made.
circus
The
says.
state does not
I love Grizzly True Crime. I dare somebody to
agree
match me.
to having, or we respectfully
She says I'm
object to the
I thought you
court.
said you agreed
No,
with
we
it.
we object to the court commenting or instructing the jury
Oh.
on the testimony of Dr. Stern. That is the purview.
Yes.
That is the
Got drip drop in the
Does he-
house.
area of the jury.
Oh, that's exactly what I want to avoid. I want to avoid that. So to avoid that, I think that we would, you'd
Van,
get your CV
did he
in,
have
you'd
a
get
snort
the
bubble as
American
he
Board of
snorted?
Pathology letter in, and then you all would leave it up to argument after that.
Well,
Like
I think
right now.
a request was made, Your Honor, that her transcript be read in whatever way defense counsel wants to read it.
Well, that was in conjunction with this.
Well, correct. The problem is, though, is now things can be taken out of context.
Yeah.
That's your job, to argue for or against.
But the thing is, it's being taken out of context.
I'm not even sure it's going to be your job, actually. It's going to be Mr. Alanis'
Yes,
job.
it will be. And the thing is now it's going to be taken out of context without the witness on the stand to defend herself as to a clarification
Correct.
of what exactly it was that she meant by that testimony.
It is what it is.
It's not good boy.
It is what it is.
Your Honor,
And
you
he
give us
thirsty.
an opportunity to.
I mean, you can very easily clarify the way Mr. Alanis just did now. She didn't say she was a diplomat. She said she was under examination of it.
Correct.
In fact, she wasn't asked whether she was a diplomat. She was asked whether she was certified.
Just throw this out, Judge. Stop the bullcack here.
That's my hard inclination. So
Thank you, Texas State of Mind.
to allow both documents in as evidence, if you all would so be inclined, and
Okay.
To allow that in, I think that it would then be.
Your Honor, the other alternative I would ask the court to consider is having Dr. Stern testify telephonically. We can get her on the phone. She can be thoroughly examined.
Oh,
on
like
these
Zoom.
questions.
Another Dalbert hearing.
And that way, the jury is able to.
Please,
hear
no.
from the-
We'll need
the
so much
doctor
coffee.
himself, which I don't think would take 5
Damn.
minutes. 10 minutes.
5 minutes. Are you sure? Mr. Alanis? 5 minutes?
That
In
would
this
be,
court means an hour.
Over our objection.
We don't mind. We'll be there for it.
She testified in person, and we believe that the.
Where is she?
Well, she was released. We have to track her down, but, we could-
Well, you tracked her down last night, right? Where was she last
I called
night?
her yesterday in the morning when I was advised.
Where
this.
where was she
She was
yesterday?
out of town.
Oh my
But
word, thank you.
I could find out if she's in town. I could find out if she's here, Your Honor.
Shame. Poor Dr. Stern. Oh my word. She'll be like,
she's
oh.
not. She's not in Alabama, Judge.
She's what? Yeah, Mr.
So-
Boggs. You're going
so
to
in
pay
any
for that.
event,
Thank you, Willow. Tell us, Judge, what's going to happen? Make a decision. You could do it. Sandra
Yep.
says, drip drop matched you, my friend.
that would not be the most efficient way of doing things, but quite frankly, I think you all should take a look at that. Because their request is also not being, in other words, I'm not striking her testimony, I'm not instructing the jury with regard to the weight that they should give this evidence. I'm basically just saying, this has to be considered, and you all give it whatever
We thought this would be
consideration you
simple.
want to give it.
Thank you,
And,
Rondella.
and you all could basically argue what her words were in consideration to what the facts are.
At a minimum, Judge, that's what we would ask. And I believe that if that is the court's ruling, it would be over our objection because it is not enough to cure it based on the testimony that's had. And I can foresee a circumstance where if there is a guilty verdict,
If there's-
and a death sentence, that habeas lawyers will go back and interview these jurors.
There's no
and
question.
ask them if they believed that Dr. Stern was a board-certified pathologist. And
True.
based on
Pushing
everything
out.
that's happened so far, I believe that they will say yes, and it is only the court's instruction that can cure that problem. And I say that very much fantasizing.
Or-
cross-examining.
Very
Or
much fantasizing.
she can just be
cross-examined.
cross-examined.
Or that. Bring her in. I say bring her in this afternoon.
Honestly, Judge, I do not.
No. It would have to be by video the way your expert came in.
Zoom. Let's roll with the Zoom. Send her that Zoom link. I'm liking that idea.
Just a couple of minutes to
Yes, sir,
get
please.
the court's suggestion of the two.
Well, but that it is my suggestion. But I was hoping that both of you would accept the suggestion as opposed to having Mr. Boggs under, despite the fact that I think it was his idea to begin with, come up and say it'll still be over our objection. I guess he wants to create that sort of possibility.
Or we can meet with them and just see if we can agree, concede.
All right.
Yeah, they're not eating lunch today.
All right, let's do that. And then right after that, you're going to head out to the jail to consult with, can we take him down there already, or do you need him here for some reason?
Send him to the Webb County
I
Jail.
believe he can go, but Judge, we cannot start to consult with him until we have reached
The time,
conclusion of this.
I will not start the clock until you leave. Do you want to go to the tunnel, or do you, I'm just kidding. Until you leave the, you're going to be like my kids, you know, it's like, don't start the clock yet until I actually start the game. And then, you know, my 15 minutes are up then. So, you walk fast. I'll start counting after y'all leave the
Oh, that
the
was
offices. The
classic.
jury's not going to be back till 1. So, anyways, she may not be able to eat today. So
Yeah, I told you, you're not having lunch today, you guys. You better stock up on your
So
water.
get back to me here in 10 minutes or so. Please confer.
Kathleen Treese says,
Well, just
match the race. Thanks, G.
totally
Thank
got
you. Now, are they going to keep the stream going or not? Are they coming back in 10 minutes, which we know will be an hour? Who wants to bed? We should also start the clock. 5:26. Okay, wait. I'm going to start the clock. We do what he said. They're busy walking out. They're busy walking out. Are you all ready? Should we start the clock? Wait. Let's go stopwatch. These people, my word. Okay, now they're out. We've got to start this clock right now. Timer. No. Stopwatch. Go. See you in 10 minutes. Yeah, right. Kathleen Trees, thank you for your sticker. So, if you guys want to know what the heck was that all about, remember on day 1, Dr. Stern took the stand. And already then, that was one of the witnesses that Eduardo tried to impeach, and he did not succeed at it. Okay. So they're still busy with it. They're like, you know what? Just circle back around to day 1. Okay, we did not see Thea on Friday, so maybe she was busy looking, you know, at some replays on YouTube to get the transcript. They did say it, internet-based transcriptions. YouTube does have the transcriptions. Oh, we got our CC on. That's right. We've got our closed captions on. So then got the transcriptions from day 1, Dr. Stern, that they didn't manage to impeach. Now they're busy with her again to say, just throw that all out because she is the medical examiner. When Angelica, Grizelda's sister, said, you need to check out his leg injury because something before the murders, there was something up with his leg after he'd met up with Burgos for the first time. That's the first time Burgos met his son. March 25th, 2018, Winfield Park. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys more now. KJ says argument should be board, not certified. Yes, she's certified examiner, but not board certified. Board certified is extra studies and continuing education. Thank you, KJ. I hope they see that. I hope now in their break they look at that. And they're like, oh, and then we go there. Okay, sorry, I'm just missing a few here. Casey Cat says, the drip drop match game. Thank you, you guys. You guys are so sweet. So, the thing is, on March 25th, and I put a poll up, I see you guys are voting, 92% say Burgos and Syringe. What happened was, Grizelda and Dominic went to Winfield Park to meet up with Ronald Anthony Burgos-Aviles, okay? Because they were already talking about child support and they were having that battle, where he just doesn't want any responsibility or anything to do with the son that he had with Grizelda. He's just like, nope, that didn't happen. It did, bro. And you're going to pay child support, you see. So they met up, and Grizelda had told her sister she was there with him, and then she walked away while Burgos was holding the baby to get to the car to get his sippy cup and some snacks. And as she was walking away, she could hear him audibly saying, don't worry, little man, I'm going to be looking, I'm just paraphrasing, but don't worry, I'm going to be looking after you. I grew up without a dad, but you're not gonna, I'm going to be in your life, like you and me, bro, type thing. I was raised only by my grandmother, which sounds to be a lie because his mother's still, well, I don't know still, but in 2020, she was still saying, my son is innocent and she'll stand by him always. We saw that with other cases as well. And so, when Grizelda had walked to the car on March 25th, remember the murders happened on April 9th of 2018. Suddenly, while he's making this whole heroic speech, the baby, Dominic, starts crying, screaming. And his leg is saying, owie, 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 right? And Grizelda was like, what is going on here? What is this? And she actually cut the meeting short because of the state that Dominic was in. So, sorry, the chat is now glitched again. Kimberly says, Miss Grizzly, you are the best. Thank you. I have a son living in Dessel, Belgium, visiting in December. You're visiting Belgium in December? Okay. Very nice. Yeah, close to the Netherlands. So, there we go, now it popped up. So, the medical examiner, Dr. Stern, checked out his leg, right? Because the doctors all along thought, there's a little mark, there's like a little puncture wound, it's inflamed, yeah, it's red, swelling, all that. But Angelica, Grizelda's sister, is a registered nurse, and so she was looking at the injury even from that day, and when she wiped it, she said it was like, it's almost like a little scab that just like came off, right? But then all this very dark blood came out, and she was looking at that like, this is not good. So Dominic was taken to doctors. The doctors were not sure what it was, but they also thought, oh, maybe it's an insect bite, or is it a spider bite or something? But we saw there's not the two fangs. They showed us pictures, right, throughout the trial. That's timestamp for you. There was like a puncture wound, and it just got really swollen around there. Grizelda said his leg was like in the text messages, which I'm transcribing for you, like going all hard and swollen and terrible shame, and he was in such pain he couldn't walk. He was crawling around just dragging his little leg, is what Angelica said. So the doctors were like, okay, well, antibiotics, swelling, redness, could be he went to a park, right? So it could be that. They didn't then at that point, and also they don't know exactly what to test for. So they still, to this day, have tissue samples, but they say you'd have to run like 1,000 tests to know what it is, and they don't want to destroy the sample. But Dr. Stern was the one who pronounced Grizelda and Dominic deceased at the scene, and they'd also turned, their bodies to take photos and things and document all that. And she had a double check on Dominic's leg injury, that issue. And she's like, that's not a spider bite or an insect bite. That is from an 18-gauge needle, is what she said. She said 14 or 18-gauge needle, but mostly she thinks it was an 18-gauge needle. iCharm69 says, drip drop, I'll match you and see you another time. Thank you so much. So, the thing is, it was because Angelica said, please take a look at that. The doctors hadn't figured it out. Grizelda was going to take Dominic to the hospital. That's when Burgos said, no, come and meet up with me first at the the McNaboe Park. Father Charles McNaboe Park. Meet up with me there, let me see it first. And what did he do? Murdered them, allegedly. That's what he's charged with. Stabbed Grizelda 27 times and Dominic twice. That's what he did on the second meeting. the meeting that he was intercepting before, you know, like, don't go to the hospital, come to me. Okay, so I hope the story's making sense. But Dr. Stern was the one that said, I checked it out, and that was not an insect bite. And Eduardo Pena, the defense attorney, was not loving that. He's like, nope. That's why they're so busy with this. But the thing is, yes, that could show, obviously, premeditation. It would. So they're arguing that. They don't want it to seem like premeditation. Why? Because all they have at this point is to fight against the death penalty. All they're trying to do at this point is get him life in prison, I assume. I don't think anybody's really going to think he's innocent, right? Even though he is innocent or proven guilty. But damn, the state sure is... Whew. They've proven a lot of things, huh? Sheila says, my dog hit my arm while I was answering a poll, so that 1% you have is supposed to be for for Burgos. It's okay. We'll blame the dog. So, yes. Even if they completely got rid of Dr. Stern's testimony, they still have so much. The compilation from yesterday alone is so much to show, well, there he was, and then this one saw him there, then he went there, and there. All of that stuff. The video evidence is a lot. It's not even about March 25th to prove premeditation. You could already look at so many different angles to prove that. Never mind the text messages that he thought he had deleted. He did not. We're going to go over those text messages now while we wait, because I think they're going to be coming back. Hey, Anonymous, nice to see you. I saw you yesterday at 2:30 in the morning, my time. In the Crime Circus chat, you say snarky time, aka newsflash defense equals 1. Can't throw out testimony just because you don't like it. 2, semantics won't change the insurmountable facts or evidence against Roro in this case. Sorry, next. I agree. So, honestly, but of course the prosecution still wants to, they've rested their case. Did we really think it would be like, oh my word, they've rested their case. Okay, cool guys, take a break. Take a little breather. Let's have a walk, huh? And then we'll come back, at 1 o'clock and everything will be smooth sailing. This entire trial has not been smooth sailing. A lot of delays, a lot of things happening. Daubert hearings, impeachment tactics, anything. And now it's like, okay, we want her testimony out. Hence I say, I wish that Thea was there during the Letitia Stauch trial to throw out freaking Dr. Lewis's testimony. That would have been amazing, because we really needed someone to step in and be like, oh, okay, yeah, whoa, this is bullkak. So, Mom 23 Kitty said, had it been proven that Dominic was his son at this point, I thought he was a no-show at court. So my question is, was he trying to draw out blood to test it himself to see if Dominic was his son? I highly doubt that. He was no. In my opinion, no. I think he injected him with something like Drano. We've been deliberating. We've been arguing, debating in the chat. What do you think it was? A lot of people say antifreeze. Some say Drano, like drain cleaner or something. And that causes the necrosis, right? I think he wanted to get rid of the problem. I'm saying it in air quotes because it's in his mind, right? His problem is, oh, crap. Like, I can't have girlfriends on the side, okay, and be cheating it up and then also have kids. No way. I can't do that. This is too much now. So no, just make that problem go away. I think that was his tactic. And when it didn't work, and then Grizelda was going to take him to the hospital, that wasn't his biggest concern. The biggest concern was that she was seeking child support, and he was supposed to show up in court, yes, within 7 days. And so, I mean, he wasn't complying with that. He really just didn't want to pay child support. So how do you not pay child support? Well, make sure the child is no longer alive, in his mind, right? That's what he's thinking. He's like, okay, that'll solve it, because he's so smart. This guy, my word. So when that didn't work, he's like, don't take him to the hospital, because maybe at that point he feared that they're going to then know what this was and say, holy crap, like this is, let's say, Drano. Like, why does he have drain cleaner? You see? That's all they'll then prove. It's not an insect bite. So there's all that. I hope that all made sense. But that is what they're trying to... The defense is saying they don't want Dr. Stern's testimony in. Joy says Betty shot him with steroids way too close to the bone. Necrosis would set in. Paula says, yes, just make my problem go away. Calcification says, did no one test the syringe or needle? They didn't find the needle that he used. They found unused needles, 18 gauge needles in his lunchbox. So he obviously discarded of the one that he used on Dominic. He discarded of that one. So they weren't able to test that one. Silly Pick, welcome to Grizzly $1 supporter. Ellen says, I wonder how many other women have his babies. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just seeing what you guys are saying quickly. I've set the other stream up so far already, just to make sure. Dr. McDreamy says, eye drops wouldn't cause necrosis. So yeah, I don't think eye drops. Someone yesterday said antifreeze wouldn't cause it either. So it could be something like drain cleaner. I don't know what. We all wonder. We still don't know. Can you believe we're here on day 7? We still don't know. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is go back to my presentation here to show you the text messages while we wait for court to resume. I'm going to make it bigger for you. We've gone over this. Okay, I'll start here. So, Detective Raymundo Garcia, the lead detective in the case, requested data from March 20th, 2018 to April 11th of 2018. Remember, the crime happened on April 9th. So he wanted that data. Nice buffer, you know? On Burgos' records, there are no messages from him during this time frame, from him to Grizelda. So he deleted those messages. But Grizelda took screenshots of his messages at the time. So even though he thought he was really, really smart and deleted everything, she was 10 steps ahead of him. You know, she's taking the screenshots like, this guy. So it's probably proof in the child support case. She was building that type of a case against him to be like, well, I did ask here and I did tell him about the letters and then this happened, because she needed financial support for Dominic, because she was putting herself through nursing school. You know, she had big dreams and was trying to be the best mom possible to her 2 boys. She had a 6-year-old son as well at the time, and Dominic. And so she just wanted some financial assistance. So here we go with the text messages that I'm halfway through transcribing for you. So we're going to look at what I've done so far, okay? And I'll build on it, and then depending on when they come back, I'll probably do a separate video on this at some point, but otherwise we can look at it later when I'm finished with it. So March 20th, 2018, she said, so Grizelda, you could see I put the picture next to the phone, so it'll be Grizelda's phone, and on the right-hand side, Burgos' phone, his messages. Okay, and I've tried to space it in a way that it's easy to visually understand what's going on here. So, she said, because you're all fine, don't see me then. Okay, ignore me. He says, I just saw this, what the hell? Anyways, quick question. What is it that you are exactly asking for? Or what were you asking for initially, since I better change by now? Lol. So, you can already see his attitude towards women there. We can see it throughout. That's why I'm saying it. If you see the big picture, you'll understand. You know, he calls his wife, you know, his chook. He wants to talk to his chook at the interrogation. He talked about the victim in this case, like, just because I hit that 2 years ago, you think I'm guilty? That's literally what he said, okay? So, that's what he said. And then Grizelda says, asking for when? And he says, what you said you asked for from me, then you said you take me to court. Okay? So that's March 20th, 2018. She said, I never said I was going to take you to court. I was asking you to help me with Dominic, his daycare. I told you what I was paying, and it was too much. That's what I said. He said, what was it that you asked for? And she said, I wasn't making it. I told you. Okay, so what is it you want then? I mean, like, here you could tell he's not smart. He's like, what do you want? Huh? I mean, she's saying it in many different ways, exactly what she needs from him. And it's not even for herself, it's for their son. You know what I mean? Like, could you maybe just chip in? This guy. Anyway, so she said, I wasn't making it. I told you. He says, okay, so what is it you want then? She said, I want you to help me financially with him. Like, let's spell it out for this dumbass, right? I want you to help me financially with him. If you don't, Grizelda says, if you don't, this is all Grizelda. You can see Burgos' pictures now not here. She wrote all of this. If you don't want him or don't want anything to do with him, I can't make you want to be there. But the least you can do is help me with him in that way. And it isn't so much me being any type of way with you. I just need the help right now. It isn't anything personal that you did anything to me or me seeking for vengeance. It's nothing like that. I don't hate you. You made your decision and I can't do anything but respect what you chose. When he gets older, that's just something you'll have to understand. As for me, the best thing I can do is continue my studies to give him the best that I can as his mom. You can't say I'm not right in what I'm doing for him. Now there's a decent human being. A wonderful mama bear here. Grizelda. Studying, looking after 2 kids. Asking friggin' Burgos, can you maybe... All she wanted was, can you just chip in a little bit? He's like, no. So, that is what she said. Okay, now let's see the responses. He says, so how much money you want? She said, it's not up to me anymore. So who? He said, so who? Child support. Haven't you gotten any letters? I got them today. And then in court, they said, again, this was sent on March 20th, 2018. So I don't know if she said that. I put in brackets because the way they said, and then Grizelda said, there was no interruption in Detective Garcia's sentence there. So it sounded like Grizelda said all of that. But I put in brackets in case he just said, again, this was sent on March 20th. But anyway, I got them today. Again, this was sent on March 20th, 2018. Literally just right now. He says, I'm not in Laredo yet. Like, dumbass, you live there. But you lying. He lied that he didn't live there. He's like, I'm not in Laredo yet. Where are you, bro? She said, check your mail once you're here. You should have them too. And these messages were on Facebook. And at some point, you see, even that to me shows some premeditation, because at some point, the Facebook messages stopped. And then he had, they started talking on Snapchat. I can't say he said, you need to not talk to me on Snapchat, but they moved over to Snapchat and those messages disappear. So maybe at that point he decided this is too much of hard work to be deleting all my messages and who knows what's on her side. So let's just go to Snapchat because those messages disappear after a while. When they went there, she screenshotted some of them, some not. So we will never know what exactly was said there. Okay. So let's just see. Yeah, text message, she just wanted help with daycare. Angela says he didn't want it to affect his relationship with his wife and kids. Yep. And also, his big-ass ego, right? So he said, but thanks for telling me. Guess if they say you need 2 million, you need 2 million. Whatever. Okay. Then she said, this was on March 27th, 2018, okay? You can have what he doesn't need. It's not like that. I'm being really nice telling you that given everything you've told me, So this is Grizelda saying, you can have what he doesn't need. It's not like that. I'm being really nice telling you that given everything you've told me, but money doesn't make me. And not once have I ever been a money person with you ever. Then he says, so they gave you a letter today for 7 days from now? Now count those days, guys. She said, things were never like that between us. I don't know, I guess. Then he said, you better call them and reschedule because I won't be able to make it. And I don't want to have a warrant for failure to appear because some asshole gave you 7 days notice. Mother effers. Mother puckers. So already there you can hear his aggressive, coercive tone. You do this, you do that. I don't give you shit. He talks like that. We've seen it ourselves from the interrogation. He talks like this later again. I'm just saying there, that's his type of attitude, right? She said, you won't have a warrant, and for when? Do you want to call instead and let me know? If you think I'm lying, I'm not. The last thing I want to do is fight or argue with you. He said, like they should give me 2 or 3 weeks. Don't tell, I wouldn't have never known. She said, that's why I thought you were asking all these questions. I thought you knew before I did. He said, no, I didn't. But good thing I asked. Gonna get raped without even knowing. Nice language, bro. Nice. She said, LPL, correction, lol. Calm down. I would have told you. He says, now I gotta go and give parental rights away, thanks to you. Now, what is he talking about there? He doesn't even want parental rights if he's talking about Dominic, so what? He says, now I gotta go and give parental rights away, thanks to you. She said, you're still being like that? Okay, Anthony. Call and reschedule. I guess that day will be the first and last you actually see him in person. And I say that since I guess they'll be doing the swab at the office. He says, I'm being like, what? You're the one, not me. There you can see how very mature he is. Could definitely see someone's maturity in conflict. He's like, I'm being like, what? You're the one, not me. Lame, bro. Okay, continuing on. She said, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. Oh, yeah. And then they said something. It sounded like you, sire. The closed caption also picked up you, sire, for me to check. I have no idea what that means. I don't know if it was meant to be like a Spanish phrase there or something. Some of this was in Spanish, but then they translated it in court. And so I wrote just the English on these messages, okay? So I don't know what the you, sire is about, but anyway. She said, yeah, I don't want to argue with you or anything right now. Call and reschedule. I'll send you the picture in a minute. He says, no, you call. This guy. Interesting. Allegedly says, Grizzly to crime, if I'm not mistaken, giving away parental rights doesn't work like it used to. It might depend on state to state. Only way to give away rights now is if another party is ready to claim. So he's like, no, you. You're the one, not me. No, you call. Oh my word, this guy. Trust me, when you go through these text messages like this, listening to everything word by word, line by line, you're like, damn. So I will finish all of it for you, okay? Oh, thank you. Pernille says, this is well put together, Grizzly to crime. Oh, thank you so much. It really helps to see it, right? I feel like a lot of us, obviously, if you're watching YouTube, you're not listening to podcasts, okay? So just remember, podcasting is audio only usually. Some podcasters put their podcast on YouTube to maximize their reach and stuff. I'm a YouTuber. I used to have a podcast. It's now on Patreon. The point is, on YouTube, most people watch things, right? We're visual learners. So yesterday was really hard just listening to it. And so I hope that this helps some of you to see exactly the string of messages so that we can understand what the hell happened here. Okay, so he says, yes, sure. If you only knew. And Grizelda says, whatever. He said, if you only knew that I don't have shit. You see? He talks like that. We saw it in the interrogation. We could just imagine him being like, I don't have shit. He likes to do this one. I'm telling you now, I don't have shit. Okay, bro. Okay. Booger boy. Put the testosterone down, sir. It's not going to help. Okay, so she said, yes, you. He says, you know, I'd like to tell you something, but not on Facebook. Meet me in person or phone. That's when it starts getting sinister in his mind, huh? Not on Facebook. Meet me in person or phone. But I'm sure that in a few weeks, I'm not going to be your friend. And there are, ladies and gentlemen, Exhibit A, premeditation. Who gives a crap what Dr. Stern is saying about this? Okay, I mean, I do. But you know what I mean? Oh, defense. Let me show you again. Exhibit A. Right here. Anyway, I'd like to tell you something, but not on Facebook. Meet me in person or phone, but I'm sure that in a few weeks, I'm not going to be your friend. March 24th, 2018. That's when that one was sent. And April 9th. This was before, the day before. This was the day before she took Dominic to meet him, the day that he was allegedly injected in the leg. The day before. In a few weeks, I'm not going to be your friend. She says, what? Okay. She's like, what? Then she says, and why is that? Tell me why. He said, whip them out. Again, he's very, very mature, you guys. And so smart. She's trying to have an adult conversation. He makes a threat. I'm telling you, you're not going to want to be my friend in a few weeks. You better meet me in person or phone. She's like, why is that? Tell me why. He says, whip them out. She said, no, tell me why. You always shut me out, so tell me why. He says, you see, you always do that. That's flipping the script. Narcissism 101. Coercive control 101. Right there. So you always do that. He's like mirroring and flipping the script, right? Then she said, if you're saying that to me right now, then why tell me whip them out? If you say in a few weeks that's going to happen, or that's going to happen whatever you do or did, just in time for my birthday, just great. He said, what's in time for your birthday? Mm-hmm. And so she said, whatever it is you're talking about. He said, I'm talking about whip them out. Jenny says, what is Drip Drop? Drip Drop is a YouTuber. The channel's called Crime Circus. Karen Kennedy says, you are amazing. Look at that little, it's a little avocado. It's so cute. Thank you so much, Karen. Really appreciate it. Pollyanna says, textbook gaslighting. And you guys, let's see the timer. It's been 28 minutes and they said there'll be 10. I'm just saying, we're keeping time here. That's right. We've got a timer on these days. Yolanda Castillo says he's gaslighting her. He is. Someone says, is he 16 or what? Mm-hmm. And this guy just like whipped him out. Oh my gosh. She said, then what was that all about? He says, because I wanted to tell you something because I do, but never mind that. Really, baby boy, oh my word. She said, why don't you just say it? I don't get it. You're not going to die by telling me, and I can't, not right now. My boyfriend is here. He said, I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh at him. I'm not laughing at the situation, but him, it's just, this idiot says, whip out their melons. It's like talking to P-Brain over here. It's just like, whip out their melons. Oh, man. This guy. She literally just said, I can't right now. My boyfriend is here. He said, whip out their melons. And he says, oh, but tonight. So now he's just like push, push, push. For boo pics? That's what he wants. He wants melon pics. Yeah. Christy, welcome to Grizzly. $1 supporter. Look at you dog, so cute. Oh, gosh. Holly Monster says that's right up there with you, so sexy, baby. Mm-hmm. Where does this come from? Do you guys remember? It's Chris Watts. When he was talking to Nicole Kessinger, yeah, so damn sexy, baby. Carve it up. Yep, Rongo says he's telling... Thank you. Are people asking? He's telling her to whip out her breast. He later said melons. Yes, he did. So, she said, not tonight, tomorrow. Lol. I never have them out. They're not for everyone to see. He said, put your melons out there and Bad Bunny. Oh no, you guys, this guy. He said, well, as a warm-up, whip them out. She said, warm up, haha, give me a bit. And he said, I'm not going to give you shit. Now, before anyone goes to the place of victim blaming and says, why is she even saying, warm up, haha, give me a bit? If you have ever been in a situation where you're talking to a coercive controller who makes these types of demands and things, you know what it's like. She's like, oh crap. Like, she's probably thinking, I'm gonna have to work with this guy because, you know, I'm gonna have to keep the conversation going because she wants to meet up with him. She wants to be able to have her son meet his dad at some point, maybe have him in his life, and maybe even pay some child support. But look how he talks. She says, "Warm up, haha, give me a bit." He says, "I'm not going to give you shit." I see the camera moving here and there. I'm watching the court. Okay, that's as far as I got. You can see now we've got a nice, clean slate for when I do some more of this. Okay. Molly says, "Thank you, G." Yes, you have to. What is it? Sorry for the all caps. Okay. Nicole says, "Thank you, G, for clarifying." Absolutely. Jane says, accidentally unplug my Wi-Fi. Don't do that. There are 2 things you need in life. Wi-Fi and coffee. Okay, and water. 3 things. Yeah. Oh, man. Calcification. Only thing getting whooped out is his cuffs when he gets thrown in prison. That's right. Angela's like derelict. Sarah Sunshine says, "Very uncomfortable, and yes, work with him." C Minor Up says, "I hate this because she still liked him a lot." I wonder. I think she just thought the best of people from what I'm gathering, you know? Oh, that was a lot. This guy. Whoop the millions. Oh, no. Shame. Grizelda. I'm so sorry she had to put up with that guy. And that's the thing. With types like him, huh? Those red flags in hindsight were flying. And one would never imagine, damn, this guy could actually not only take my life, but also a baby's? One wouldn't just think that. But that's why we learn from true crime. Because we learn worst case scenarios. So we stay safe. It doesn't mean the world works every day in worst case scenarios. You can't walk around freaking paranoid everywhere you go, but you can be prepared and educated. That's what I find helpful with true crime, right? Yes, because in hindsight, oh my gosh, he's just like, no respect for her, no respect for her boundaries, talks to her in an aggressive way, objectifies her, coerces her, and says, in a few weeks, you're not going to want to be my friend. That's a threat. That is a red flag threat. You block and never talk to them again. That's what we learn from this, right? It's not to say she did anything wrong. I'm sure we've all been in situations where that could have gone really bad, but thankfully we're all still here, but we learn. Oh, Vince Moreno says, "My favorite true crime channel by far. WWG." Tapping in from San Diego. Nice to see you. Yeah. Olivia says, "Why are they worried about premeditation? He's going to jail for life, 2 murders or death penalty." I think they're worried about premeditation because that would factor into the death penalty. I think at this point, all they're trying to do is help their client not get the death penalty. I really hope the jury's comes back in 5 minutes okay, once they deliberate. Today, the state has rested their case. Now, the defense has to present their case. Good luck to them. Eduardo was napping today a little bit. He fell asleep for a second. Shame, he needs coffee. Good luck to them. Once they rest their case, closing arguments will take place. Then the jury will deliberate. And I still think there's a chance this could all happen by tomorrow night. But let's see. At this rate, probably not. At this rate, it's probably more like early next week. We shall see. I think the judge would love it if it was okay. But now there's a bit of a spanner in the works with this whole Dr. Stern motion that they filed, the defense, to make sure that her testimony is completely thrown out. Okay, tatorto. Am I saying right? Tatorto. Tater tot. You're going to be like, ease up on the Spanish. I'm like, tatorto 99, but that's Tater Tot 99 full. Thank you so much. You say game over. Thank you for your super chat. Jean says he is one big red flag. Everly says she was in love with this guy. She didn't realize how toxic he is. We all make mistakes. Exactly. And these types of guys are dangerous. Never mind that I suppose the job he had already. I mean, one might think, wow, what a hero. Like, look at him with all these, I don't know, belt keeper with all those tools, you know, he's got like tasers and guns and he's, I don't know, keeping the borders safe and all this. You know, like Agent Lara said, we're supposed to be the good guys. But there's some bad apples in there here and there. There are already 2 in Laredo, Texas. Juan David Ortiz, serial killer, and then Ronald Anthony Burgos-Aviles. Oh, yes. So, yeah, he was definitely no hero. And I would not doubt that there would be stories coming out eventually. I hope so, that we learn some more about people's interactions with him. Oh, man. Mort says, can you imagine his life as a child killer and a border patrol dude in prison? He's going to walk into prison and leave in a body bag. Right? Carol Clark says, no melons for you in prison. Brian Laundrie would be like, whoop out them melons to you. Brian Laundrie in the Gabby Petito case. Another baby boy. Another coward. But he actually liked melons, like for real. Like honeydew, watermelon. I love watermelon too. But this, oh man, Burgos. The way he talks to her. Oh. Charles says, gee, love your accent. Is it Afrikaans? South African? I am South African. Living in the Netherlands. Yes. Oh my gosh. Angela Infante says, I dated a guy and then I found out he was married. Then I tried to get rid of him and then he tried to kill me. What? Well, I'm glad you're still here with us. Damn. We need more of that story. Terry Anderson, welcome to Grizzly $5 supporter. Thank you to all the members that have joined. Now what's happening, people? Judge, can you guys sort this out or not? It's been 38 minutes. The judge said he's going to start the timer once they're out the door. 10 to 15 minutes, right? Yeah, they're not eating lunch. I'm telling you now, they're not eating lunch. What's the time? 11:05. The jury's coming back at 1. Let's see this article if I can. Interesting. This was when? Oh, okay, wait. I want to see this article while we're at it here. Thank you to Carol for sending that to me. Oh, let me make it a bit smaller. Also, if you guys are watching now, I did say it yesterday, but apparently I have to say it again. You really don't have to send me the article of Burgos' wife anymore. I've received it like 200 times. We've gone over it like 10 times. We're good. I don't want it in my inbox anymore. Okay. Yeah. Casey Cat says 6,200 people in here witnessing their tardiness. I think they need some nap time. So, this is from published May 19, 2023. Okay. Laredo, Texas, the Laredo Police Department took some time to honor some of its top officers during its... Wait, let me make it bigger for you. Like that. Okay. During its annual awards luncheon. The gathering happened on Thursday morning. Oh, like now. Okay. The gathering happened on Thursday morning at the Laredo Police Association Unity Hall. The event is meant to commend the officers, investigators, and law enforcement members who have shown outstanding performance in the line of duty. Officer Ricardo J. Lopez was named Officer of the Year. Raymundo Garcia was named Investigator of the Year. And they... so that's probably how I spell Raymundo. I had R-A-Y. Okay, there you go. He was named Investigator of the Year, and we concur, right? We concur. If you don't know who he was the one with the compilation yesterday and the final witness today before the state rested their case. Absolutely brilliant. So, okay, congratulations. Officer Ricardo J. Lopez named Officer of the Year. Raymundo Garcia named Investigator of the Year. And Sergeant Joshua J. Nunez was named Patrol Supervisor of the Year. Very nice. Pernil says 172K Grizzlies witnessing the tardiness. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Catherine, welcome to Grizzly $1 supporter. Cole44 says, anyone know how old her first child is? He was 6 at the time. So, 11 now? Maybe 12? Depending on how old he was exactly then. Was he like turning, 7 right then or? Yeah. Yes, Stefan says, Raymundo Garcia. Congrats. That is great that they had that on Thursday. Devil Woman says, Ronald equals Roro. Wonder if he gave himself that nickname. I think so. It was Roro419. on Snapchat and Roro ATV on Facebook. So they say here, we've done that. Officer Jose Espinoza says it's a small token of appreciation that goes a long way. Some of the efforts is just as our logo says, is to protect and serve the community. It's something that we do, and we do not expect anything in return. It's something very nice that the department is hosting to recognize these officers for their hard work and dedication, said Jose Espinoza. Yeah. Mia says, have you looked at his tattoos? Is he connected to any cartels? I don't know. I haven't analyzed his tattoos yet. Should do that. And so, damn, look at this. That's very distracting. Stop it. So they said here, carrying on. Also, Maria Mir was recognized as Civilian of the Year. Jorge L. Martinez was Telecommunicator of the Year, and Captain Rene L. Alvarado was Investigative Supervisor of the Year. Congratulations to all the officers on their respective recognitions. Very nice. Nancy D., welcome to Grizzly $1 supporter. R.U. Smiley says, average salary for SBCA is 77 to 85K. And yet he doesn't have shit. Nicole says, you could tell Detective Garcia is a good soul and a true public servant. Yes. Okay, let's take this one away again. See what's happening here in the court. Thank you so much again to Carol for sending me that. Oh. Okay. Well, I'm just looking what else we have here. Just give me 1 second. So, allegedly says, if he was part of a cartel or even a small gang, the members would have done it, not him. He would have alibis from multiple people that he wasn't there at all. Good point as well, good point. Okay. So, I guess now we're waiting for the court, as we usually are. So, what I'm going to do is like this. I've obviously resized it now, so just hold on. Okay, so let's wait with some chilled music for the court to come back, okay? It's going to say the court is on a short break. We know that short break has already been 45 minutes. Alrighty, here we go. Here we go. Wait. Son.
This issue regarding Dr. Stern, we ultimately withdrew the agreement of submission of both documents, and we were able to contact Dr. Stern, who's driving in from out of town.
Nice, okay.
She can be present by 2:30 p.m.
By 2:30
At what
p.m.
time?
She can
2:30.
be available to testify at 2:30 p.m.
Excellent.
To clarify this issue, we looked into we spoke to our appellate counsel, because this is a credibility question that belongs to the jury. He suggests that it be testimonial and that she be cross-examined on this issue. We have no problem with that, and I've conveyed
All
that
right.
to counsel. They're in agreement with questioning her at 2:30.
Very good.
Is that okay with the court?
That's good with me. In fact, I prefer that as well.
Yes, Judge, and I think the district attorney has put it correctly that we believed we had a agreement, but the district attorney withdrew that agreement, and then offered the testimony of Dr. Stern live. Judge, we would just ask if there is a question about the impeachment, in order to be able to let the district attorney stipulate to the letter that we have presented to them in its original form from the American Board of Health.
Well, I mean,
if it's necessary for the impeachment.
But she never testified.
well,
that's right.
in any event, the question is, are you going to be able to use the letter when you cross-examine her? And if it's for impeachment purposes, the rules are going to apply. Whatever the rules are, the rules are. I'm not going to make it. If you want to make a ruling right now, I will. But if it's going to be using for impeachment purposes, and basically that's. First of all, you're going to go through a clarification period, and depending on what she says, then this becomes
Back
relevant
to
or not
impeachment.
relevant, depending on how she testifies. So if she testifies, here I am, then okay. Because it wasn't, she actually did not officially say she was. I mean, there was confusion and required clarification. And again, I don't have the official. I'm going with what Ms. Bozell showed us. But I do have Cindy going over that. So because we're going to have her here, and you have an opportunity to call her if you'd like, then that's the best remedy.
Yes, sir.
All right.
After all
I would
that
say,
time,
for the
they're still
record,
going.
Of course, the CV that was provided by the district attorney for Dr. Stern, under the category of board examination and certifications, she lists American Board of Pathology examination.
What were you all doing for this whole
2001.
time?
Right.
So whether she technically, very lawyerly on the stand, sort of mumbled through some words, may be different than what the records that she files as her curriculum.
It was 50 minutes, by the way. 5-0. That break. That 5 minutes.
We can
Clarify the mumbling, if you want to call it that. We'll take it from there. But you'll have an opportunity to do that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then so it is. So you're I guess it's 11:25, 11:22,
And Your Honor, just
11:20 actually. I'm going by the cuckoo clock over here, but we'll go in with this one. 11:20.
And just to be clear, the state will be able to question her after the question.
It's a regular witness that they bring, and therefore you're entitled to cross them. Well,
Yes.
What a
whatever the
weird-
rules say on that issue. Cross them, I guess, technically.
The
All
judge.
right. Thank you. So now
Oh, man.
we just need to make sure our hallway is cleared for Mr. Burgos to
Okay.
go in, and then you all will follow, and then of course whatever time we have left after that is your sandwich or hamburger time or whatever it is you're going to have. Salad. Okay, salad.
The judge.
Thank you.
Sandwich or hamburger. Okay.
We'll see you at 1
salad.
o'clock. Thank you all.
1 o'clock. They'll be back. Okay, so let's take that off. Right. So, you guys, let's take a break ourselves because we're going to need it. You can tell, right? You can tell. We're going on mute this time. Right now in Texas, it's 11:22 a.m. They're coming back at 1. Do we believe that they will be back at 1? No. Maybe 1:30, but we will be back at 1 and ready. We'll be monitoring the court cameras over here and being like, okay, let's see. So, yeah, Anonymous is like, hamburger time. The judge was like, hamburger, sandwich, okay, salad. You can hear. He's probably like, man, fine, I'll eat my greens. Sounds like me a bit. I quite like salad, but I'm also like, hamburger time, sandwich, what are you saying? Oh, man, salad, okay. So, yeah, 1 means 2 in Laredo. Well, I hope it will be 1, because by 2:30, Dr. Stern is going to be back on the stand. Oh, yes. So that Eduardo, Pena, and Mr. Boggs can question her qualifications so they could try to impeach her again so that they could throw out her testimony. They failed the first time. Will they be successful the second time? And if so, does it really matter? Let's quickly check the poll results. What do you think happened to baby Dominic on March 25th, 2018? 1% spider bite, 2% insect bite or sting, 92% say Burgos and a syringe, and 5% say no idea. Okay, so thanks for answering the poll. The next stream, you know where it's going to be at. Can you see it yet? Can you see it? Here it is, okay? Wait. Next stream here. Next stream here. Let's see who's there first. Come and say hi. Let's all have a little walk and some water and maybe more coffee. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to get more coffee. And then we will be back, okay, in the next 90 minutes. By the time I end this, you also like it. Just end the live stream. It's almost up at 11. In about 90 minutes, I will be seeing you, okay? So here we go. Who are they talking about? Dr. Stern. We went over it. Check out the stream. If you missed the text messages, we went over the presentation at the beginning, which was all Maptime at the beginning of this stream now. So check that out while you're waiting for the next one, okay? And I will see you over there. Here we go. Okay, bye. See you there.